So we are just a little over 2 weeks to the Royal Rumble and everybody has started calling their shots. We will go over everything. Hi guys, what is up? Welcome to DMK Wrestling and welcome to my review for the January 9th edition of WWE's Monday Night Raw. Let's check out what happened on tonight's show. So the show kicked off with Kevin Owens and he was about to address the WWE Universe when all of a sudden he was interrupted by JBL, who then introduced Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin gloated about the fact that he's been the only one in the last 3 years to defeat Roman Reigns and he will do so again once he wins the Royal Rumble, goes to the main event of WrestleMania and challenges Roman for his undisputed WWE titles. And in all of this, KO took a little nap at the turnbuckle, which was pretty funny. Then he challenged Corbin to a match. And in this match, I tell you, this was really fun. Both men had so much chemistry. Corbin got a lot of offense. But then the match ended with a stunner out of nowhere, kind of like an RKO out of nowhere. It was that sudden. Right after the match, Kevin Owens rolled onto the outside and started brawling with Jey Uso, who was climbing the barricade to attack him. Jimmy and Solo Sikoa aided Jey and this became a 3-on-1 attack. And it was so funny what happens next because KO actually took the shoe of WWE ring announcer Mike Rome, used it to hit one of the Usos and then proceeded to lay in a series of chair shots onto all three men, effectively warding them off. Solo Sikoa went into Umaga mode, tried to go after Kevin Owens, but then Adam Pearce and the Usos stopped him. After the commercial break, we saw the Usos and Solo leaving the arena when Adam Pearce stopped them, informing the Usos that there would be a tag team turmoil match to determine who would be the #1 contenders for the Raw Tag Team Championship. So it does look like they are trying to split the belt. I don't know, either that or it was a slip up from Adam Pearce. The Usos were then going to be ejected from the building, but then Solo Sikoa was going to stay behind because he was going to have a match with a man who he attacked a few weeks prior, Dolph Ziggler. We then got an update on Bianca Belair. Evidently she cut her lip and she's had stitches, but she will be fine, when Alexa Bliss climbed onto the announce table and told everyone that she honestly didn't mind what she did to Bianca. She felt good about it and she was in control and she was the only threat to Bianca's Raw Women's Championship, similar to what she said to Byron Saxton in that interview that she granted him backstage last week. And then the Omnitron screen started to flicker and Uncle Howdy came on saying, "You think you're in control?" And then out came Uncle Howdy, who came to laugh at Alexa Bliss in the entranceway, and then they cut to commercial break. And in case you're wondering who Uncle Howdy is, I honestly think it's Bo Dallas. It just has to be, because Bo Dallas is 6'1", LA Knight is 6'1". They are the same height. When you saw that episode of SmackDown, you saw that they were literally the same height. And of course, they are a little shorter than Bray, who is about 6'4". If it's not Bo, who else would it be? We then had a match featuring Bayley, who was accompanied to the ring by Io Sky and Dakota Kai, taking on Michin Miayim. Now, I need to remark this. It does seem as though the horrible Damage Control theme song is gone. Thank the Lord. I am so happy. Deliverance is a much better theme. But also, I hope that Josiah Williams track that he released on Instagram, it's fire. You guys have to check that track out. I hope that's a new Damage Control theme. But then before the match started, Bayley got on the mic and effectively dedicated her match to Becky Lynch, who was not here on tonight's show. I think she's on the set of Young Rock reprising her role as Cyndi Lauper. So that's a pretty cool thing that's going on over there. Bayley also gave Dakota Kai and Io Sky the night off, so she effectively was going to go solo against Michin. And this was a great match. It didn't last too long, it didn't outstay its welcome. The match ended with a backslide and dirty pin from Bayley, and Mia didn't look too happy about it. Bayley looked like, yeah, I snuck out with a win, but this will come into play much later in the course of the show. We then got word from the announcers that Johnny Gargano has suffered an OCL sprain. I think that's what it was called, but basically he confirmed on his social media that he has suffered a shoulder injury at a live event not too long ago. So we cut the back and Candice LeRae was being interviewed by Kathy Kelly and she confirmed that yes, he is out, but hopefully he will be back as soon as possible. When she was interrupted by Rhea Ripley, Rhea trash talked Candice, telling her that yeah, she wanted to give Dom a homecoming gift since he was now coming out of prison. This led to Candice LeRae challenging Rhea and Rhea accepted, so that match was going to happen later. Then we had Austin Theory come out to gloat about his win from last week when Seth Rollins came out in crutches at first and then threw one crutch away and started playing a guitar with the other one. So everybody was like, oh yeah, okay, Seth is fine. And I'm so happy because apparently the injury is storyline. It's not an actual injury. Thank God. That knee of Seth's, man, always gives a scare. Austin Theory sort of gave Seth his flowers because he said he was really good, but he was better, and he was going to win the Royal Rumble and advance to the main event of WrestleMania and become not only the United States champion but the undisputed WWE Universal Champion after beating Roman Reigns. Seth laughed at this and said, yes, my knee is not 100%, but I will be fine just in time for the Rumble. He will have a lot of time before WrestleMania where he will become the undisputed WWE Universal Champion. So one of these two men is lying. Either that or both of these men are lying. And personally, if you ask me, I want Seth versus Cody as the final two. That would be... Seth was then leaving the ring and he got to the ramp when his music was cut by a returning Bobby Lashley's theme music. The Almighty is back on Raw for the first time in 4 weeks after he was unceremoniously fired by Adam Pearce. Lashley gave Seth a bit of a side look, then proceeded to go into the ring where Austin Theory tried to ward him off. He missed an attack attempt and then followed it up with a spear to Austin Theory. And then Bobby Lashley declared for the Royal Rumble match. So as it stands, we have quite a number of men in the Rumble match. We have Kofi Kingston, we have Ricochet, we have Seth Rollins, Austin Theory, Baron Corbin. I now believe Bobby Lashley. I'm pretty sure I'm forgetting some other names, but yeah, the Rumble is slowly beginning to fill up. Then we had Rhea Ripley taking on Candice LeRae, and this match was less than 5 minutes, definitely more than 2 minutes. It wasn't too long, and it definitely did set up Rhea Ripley as a dominant performer. I believe she will win the Rumble this year. It does look like that's what is going to happen. But yes, it was a fun match. She ended up winning with the Riptide to Candice LeRae for the 1, 2, 3. Then we cut to the back, and this is the part of the show that I am really excited about. So Byron Saxton was going over to interview Bobby Lashley when he was suddenly interrupted by MVP, who apparently was the one that got Bobby Lashley reinstated. So Bobby does owe MVP some things. MVP also made it clear that he is trying to reassemble the Hurt business, and he has been able to succeed in getting Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander together. So Bobby is kind of the last piece at this point, but Bobby was like, we are cool, but not right now. So you start to see it. I'm so excited. Also, I do have questions as to whether Omos will be a part of it or whether he will stand as opposition to them. I would honestly like Omos to be part of it. I think it would really be the vehicle to carry him to the next level, because a lot of people crap on Omos's ability, but from what I saw at Crown Jewel, Omos has a lot of potential, and I don't think you should sleep on the Nigerian Giant. And yes, I'm sticking up for another African brother. We then had part 2 of the Cody Rhodes video series. So in this one, it spoke about his Hell in a Cell encounter with Seth Rollins with the torn pec. And he did say that yes, he has not watched the match back. We had an appearance from Brandy Rhodes in this video package, which was really cool. For those of you that do not know, or for the younger fans, Brandy Rhodes was one known as Eden Styles, and she was a ring announcer right before JoJo Hoffman, who is Bray Wyatt's wife, and now Samantha Irvin, came onto the scene. Dolph Ziggler was then going to be interviewed by Kathy Kelly in the backstage area when Mustafa Ali approached Dolph Ziggler to confront him about passing up an opportunity to team up with him to be in the tag team turmoil match, and instead decided to go after Solo Sikoa. And Dolph clearly did not seem to want to team with Ali. Ali seemed a little offended by this. Dolph said it was nothing personal, but the look in Ali's eyes when Dolph walked off tells me that there is something cooking with Ali. A lot of people are saying he might turn heel again. Ali is a bit of a... He has an interesting character right now, and I wonder where it's going to go. We then had a Bronson Reed video package, and he is built to be the monster that he is, the thick boy from NXT. If you know, you know. But then we cut to the backstage area where Byron Saxton was about to interview him when The Miz showed up and was like, hey, this guy helped me to win my match against Dexter Lumis a few short weeks ago. And Reed just looked at him in a certain way and was like, if you want something from me, pay me. So it's kind of this loop that Miz is going through, because he's finding people to do his dirty work for him, but he's losing money. I pray they do a broke Miz angle similar to what they did with Corbin. That would be so funny. And then we have Solo Sikoa taking on Dolph Ziggler. Look, Dolph Ziggler can have a 5-star match with a broomstick, sort of the HBK comparison. Solo is a great worker. These people, these two men, know exactly what they are doing. Solo was dominant in this match. Dolph got his offense in, but this match ended with a zigzag counter into a powerbomb position that ended up with Solo popping him up and hitting the Samoan spike on Dolph Ziggler, which was a very cool spot from the big man. So yeah, Solo is still undefeated on the main roster. I wonder if he has a streak of some kind. I'll just do the math, and hopefully by his next appearance I should have some stats as to how many matches Solo has won on the solo basis, I guess. Then we had Kathy Kelly going to interview Damage Control just as they were leaving the arena when Michin came up and said, hey, you cheated in our match. And then Bayley was like, yeah, I'm not afraid to ask for a little help, especially right now when I do need some help to kick your you-know-what. And this proceeded to become a 3-on-1 assault on Michin. So I guess there will be a Becky Lynch tie to some point because that looks to be the direction they're heading in. Also, I love Bayley's hairstyle from this week. Pretty cool. And then we had Miss TV with Dominic Mysterio as the guest. And he came up on here talking about how prison was hard on him and how he was now toughened up and all of that. And Miz was like, I have gathered from a few sources that you were only in a county jail for a few hours, and Damian Priest tried to intimidate Miz. But this would then lead into our tag team turmoil match between the Judgment Day, the OC, the Alpha Academy, the Street Profits, and Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin, who we cannot call the Hurt Business right away. And the action started off with Finn Balor and Damian Priest taking on the OC, and this was the slowest of all the matches on the card, but the OC was disposed of in quick fashion. Out then came Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin, and it was pretty cool for a while, but unfortunately Cedric and Shelton also fell to the Judgment Day. Afterwards, we had the Alpha Academy come in, and I think there's reason for me to believe that the Alpha Academy will be turning face very soon. Either that or it's happening right as we speak, because once they started the action, Otis got a huge reception. Otis is growing his beard out, and he brought the caterpillar back, and they got a massive ovation for that. So WWE, pull the trigger. I want to see how they do as a face team. I think it's going to be pretty cool. You know, Chad Gable is he's one of the best as it currently is. But unfortunately, the match ended when Otis did a corner splash onto Chad Gable, who had been used as a shield by Finn Balor. But after this, Finn was clearly hurt. His ribs had come into question. Adam Pearce came out and was like, okay, if you can't do it, you might have to forfeit. And everybody was like, no, we don't want to forfeit, I'll go. But Finn was medically disqualified. So then Dom had to end up taking Finn's place. Dom didn't want to do it at first, but then he had to do it anyway because the Street Profits were coming out next. And this was so much fun. They bounced off each other so well, but the match ended with a dirty pin from Dominic. The Judgment Day are now the #1 contenders for the Raw Tag Team Championships, I guess. Either that or the Undisputed Tag Titles. I really don't know what's going on. But then the Usos, who were supposed to be barred from the building, made their way back in, came for a stare down at the entrance ramp, and raised the tag titles in the faces of the Judgment Day. And that's how this week's episode of Raw ended. Now, obviously, my biggest takeaway and the thing I'm most excited about from this episode, aside the Uncle Howdy, Alexa Bliss stuff, is the stuff with Her Business. I am really pumped. I wonder when it's going to happen. It has to happen before WrestleMania at least. But that's going to be it. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please do subscribe to this channel and like the video. Check out these 2 videos from my channel. Check out my other channel and this wrestling channel, and I will see you guys in another video. Till then, take care. Peace, my G's.